Okay, so now I want to talk to you about some special effects that you can do with your watercolor. Sometimes there are areas that are very, very small that you need to keep white, and that's very hard to paint around them, because that is one thing that you can do, is you can take your watercolor, and if you have a certain area that you've blocked off, you can take and paint around it and keep that area white. And most of the time this will work, but a lot of times maybe your areas might be too small, or you might not be able to get everything in there that you need to. So this is where the liquid Frisket comes in handy. So what you want to do is take the Frisket, shake it up really good, and then you want to use a clean brush. Okay, so make sure that there's nothing coming off on there, and this stuff doesn't smell good. I'll warn you of that right now. You're gonna get some on your brush, and then you're just going to paint it on in all the areas that you would like to stay white. It needs a good thick coat, okay? And then you wait for that to dry, and we'll come back in a couple minutes and I'll show you what happens. Okay, so that liquid Frisket, it dries to a rubber, so you don't want to ever leave it in your brush for very long. So as soon as you get that liquid Frisket painted, you need to clean it out really, really well. So you can see over here I have in my water, I'm cleaning, and I'm making sure that all that liquid Frisket is out of my brush. Drying my liquid Frisket, drying, waiting for it to dry, being patient. Okay, so this was the thing we had the liquid Frisket on, and you can see a little bit of it on there. I don't know if you can from the angle that you're at. You can kind of see it's shiny a little bit. So what you can do after the liquid Frisket dries, and you want to make sure that it's good and dry before you do this, is then you can paint on top of it. And then you have to let this dry too. Okay, so now we're going to be patient. And you can see here with a little bit more water, that Frisket coming back up through it. So we're gonna be patient now, and we're gonna leave this dry, and we're gonna come back once the watercolor is dry and see what that liquid Frisket does. Okay, so here is our masking fluid. And so what we did was we painted it with masking fluid. We went over top of it with wet watercolor once the masking fluid is dry. And now that the watercolor and the masking fluid are dry, now we're going to take off the masking fluid. So one of the ways that you can do that is, sometimes you can get it with your fingers and pull it up, but I think an eraser works better. So you can take an eraser, start it, and then it just peels up. For those of you who enjoy satisfying things, this may be fun thing for you to do, but you need to be careful because this can tear the paper, so just be really careful. Now when you're doing this on your practice paper, it's not as good of a paper as the paper that we're going to be using for the final one, so this is tearing a little bit, but as you can see, that peels right off, and then your paper is mostly left white. So that again is the end of masking fluid.